On this toy spot, we're going to be having a look at DC Universe, Gorilla Grodd Wave, or Wave 2. We're looking at Superman. This is the red costume Superman, not to be confused with the blue costume Superman that I just did. And while some people are probably saying to themselves, why are you reviewing this when you've really reviewed the other figure? Being that these are separate figures, and actually really separate characters in the comic, I figured I'd do them as two separate reviews. So there you go. Now before we actually have a look at this figure itself, we'll look at the packaging as we always do. And the packaging features the starburst effect in the back. Won't touch too much on that because I really explained this with every figure that I've reviewed so far. As you can see, there is Superman down below with his energy, I guess his energy eyes going on there. Includes your collect and connect figure piece, and the figure piece is the left arm. On the back of the packaging, the other figures in this wave are the Aquaman, there's Harley Quinn, the blue Superman, which I've already reviewed, Black Manta, and Firestorm. Biography, and I know I'm repeating myself here, but I just think if you're watching separate reviews of these and you only want to watch the red, might as well cover base on all these, same as what I covered off on the blue Superman. I'll try to make it quick though. Biography says Superman's awesome abilities were sapped completely by the star-consuming Sun Eater. An attempt to reinstate his powers transformed the Man of Steel into two energy beings, the rational Superman Blue, which I've already reviewed, and the hot-headed Superman Red. Ooh, it's this guy here. Eventually, the equal but opposite Superman were merged following a battle with the Millennium Giants. As the single Superman absorbed the rays of the Earth's yellow sun, he was restored to his superpowered self. And statistics. First appearance is Action Comics #1, June 1938. Real name Clark Kent Kal-El. Occupation superhero, reporter for the Daily Planet. Base of operations Metropolis. Special abilities travel at light speed via bolts of energy. Able to see radiation wavelengths. Change his appearance. Create tractor beams, repulsing energy fields, or fuel a power punch. So there you go. The one thing I've said already with the blue Superman, it would have been nice if they had actually done the first appearance of the red Superman in this section here, instead of just supplying the first appearance of, the Superman that we all know. Aside from that, though, there's packaging on the red Superman. What we're going to do is we're going to open this up, and we will have a closer look at the hot-headed Superman. So stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned. Alright, Superman is out of his package. For those following me, the checklist of Gorilla Grodd pieces, the red Superman comes with the left arm. So the left arm we're going to install to the Gorilla Grodd and right. Oh, right. Obviously, being that this is a variant, a repaint, you're going to obviously get the same part. You're going to get the same part. So, you don't necessarily need that part if you have both Superman, or if you only got one of the Superman, then of course you have the part to fill Gorilla Grodd. So as it stands, poor Gorilla is still missing his leg, which we hope to rectify by the time these set of reviews are finished. So we'll put Gorilla Grodd aside, and we'll also put aside his secondary left arm. Obviously, I was joking in the fact that there is a second left arm, so nobody comment down below and say, dude, it's a repaint. Obviously, yes, I know it's a repaint. So we'll put this aside, and we'll have a look at the figure itself. The figure is very nice, and while many people think it's a direct repaint, it is not. In fact, I'll bring in the blue Superman so you guys can actually see a comparison of the two. And as you'll see that the red hot-tempered Superman, or hot-headed Superman, has a grimacing face. He's angry. He's angry at something. Whereas the cool-headed Superman, more rational Superman, has a mouth closed. So I have to actually commend I have to actually commend them in the fact that they actually didn't repaint the exact same figure in a red. So good job, everybody. Good job. As you can see, aside from face, really it is the exact same figure, and all the parts on the body that are blue are the exact same red on this figure, and the white is exactly the same in all the same spots. Looking at these two figures together, it actually reminds me of when I was younger and we used to get ices. I don't know if everybody has ices where they're from, but it's like a slushy, and you could either get the option of getting a blue raspberry icy, or you could get a cherry. If you really felt wild that day, you could always get a combination of both, and yours truly always got the combination of both. Having these two Supermen together kind of reminds me of those ices, blue raspberry and the cherry. So we'll put the blue raspberry aside, and we'll look at the cherry, or the hot-headed Superman. Like I said, a very, very nice figure. Yeah, very, very nice. I have to say though, between the two figures, I think I almost prefer this. I almost prefer the blue Superman over the red. The red is nice. But I think I like the blue a little bit better. And I think really story-wise, I would have been fine really if they had just done Superman in the energy blue as the single character. He didn't really necessarily have to split off into two separate characters. I guess it was interesting because then you could kind of see the more wild Superman as the red, and then the more reserved Superman as the blue. But as you can see, he features the same energy emissions as the other Superman as well. The S Super Shield is on the back of the character, and same thing with the other figure. It doesn't seem to be removed. It looks like it's glued right in there. So I won't pull it out because guaranteed it won't be going back in. I like the fact though too, and I never really touched base on this with the blue Superman, but I like the fact that the energy here, the energy emissions, is like a clear kind of plastic, like a translucent plastic. Kind of reminds me of a fruit roll-up. Same with the other Superman. The red Superman has energy emissions or energy fields that you can add to the character as well. And the same problem I had with the blue Superman, I have the same problem with the red. The energy you kind of have to place just right on the character, or it doesn't actually want to stay. In fact, the red, as you can see, I'm having a tough time getting it on, not unless it has to be switched on the other arms here. Not so much. It doesn't really want to hold all that well. Not unless, I mean, really, you could heat it. You could probably heat this, make it a little more pliable, and then snap it on the figure. It might probably hold a little bit better. That's really my only fault with this character, is just the fact that these energy emissions don't really want to stay. But we'll put them aside. And in the way of his articulation, he has the ball-jointed articulated head, and he has the ball-jointed arms. One thing nice too is that these energy emissions don't really get in the way of his shoulders. He has the swivel-jointed bicep. He has a jointed elbow. You can turn at the wrist, and you can bend the character mid-torso. And you can rotate the waist. You can bend the leg out, forward and back, rotate the thigh, bend at the knee, and bend at the foot. There is also a little number on the bottom. It says 049, I guess 80B or 80B, whatever that's about. And there you go. Overall, it's not a bad figure. Although I think while I like the mold and I like the design of the character, I think I like the blue just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. And actually, I'll bring them back in. Like I said, yeah, between the two, I think I like the blue a little bit more. Even though it's really the same mold, the blue I'd probably give an 8 to. The red, I'd probably just give a 7, and it's really for no other reason than just the color on the two characters. A nice set really to get both, because obviously both were featured in the comics, and yeah, nice little pair. But that was a toy spot on DC Universe Gorilla Grodd. That was Wave 2, and this was the red hot-tempered Superman. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the rest of the reviews for Wave 2 of DC Universe, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.